What's up again, Anime Vice? I'm Sonic16, of course, and welcome back to another edition of Dunce Cap. This week, we are going to start off what I like to call Mindfuck Week. So, you know, that kind of shit. So, I believe that there's no better way to start off this series than, or this week anyway, than to talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yes, Tom, it's Evangelion, not Evangelion. Okay. So, this is another one I borrowed from my friend, and this is basically, I think, the last one that ADV put out. It's from 2008. It's the limited edition holiday special, complete platinum collection, blah blah blah. It's got like 7 discs in this thing. I mean, there's a lot. Jeez, I mean, look at this thing, just flipping and flipping and flipping. I think it's 7 discs, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot to it. A lot to it. Anyways, it's a 26 episode series. There are, and it ran in 1995 to 1996 originally. And then it was also followed up by 2 movies that redid the ending, Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion, and all that. And then, besides the series, I have not watched Death and Rebirth, but I have watched the End of Evangelion, but I'll get to that later. And then otherwise, as far as the manga goes, I'll talk about that later as well. Okay, so here we go. Dub vs. Sub. I've actually only watched like the first 5 minutes of one of the newer movies in sub, and then I've maybe watched like an episode in sub. Basically, probably because I couldn't find a dub. Because I actually just watched the series last year for the first time when Tom was doing his Watch and Learn series or section on it. You know, so that was the only time I've watched it so far, except for the movies. You know, so I was watching the dub, and I think the dub does a really good job with characters, like, really well. I mean, with everything. And then after seeing, you know, an interview and everything with Shinji's dub voice, who is Spike Spencer, it totally feels right. And just like how he talked about, it seems like in the series just so much more effort was put into even the dub, just bringing out the emotions of the characters and really digging deep into their psyche and bringing it like to an audience. It's really good work as far as dub work goes, and for that I really can appreciate the series for that and everything. So let's see, animation. I mean, it's kind of your typical animation as far as 95, 96 goes and everything. I'll talk about the rehash a little later. But other than that, I mean, animation's good, totally suits it. It's pretty, I mean, Gainax did a really damn good job. And, so like, especially the Evas look pretty cool, pretty freaky looking, and then the Angels, it's like, wow, you know. So, moving right on, we'll go to, the story. Basically the story, you got Shinji Ikari. He, basically a loner boy, you know, keeps his feelings all to himself, blah blah blah. And his father hits him up and said, hey, you're going to come pilot this giant biomech and fight these angels and whatnot. And he's like, I don't want to, I can't help myself. And then he ends up doing it anyways, and then him, along with Ray and Asuka primarily, and along with others, they fight the Evas, and you know, just doing this and that. trying to save the world one angel at a time to stop this next coming and everything. But then, not everything is as it seems with Gendo, Ikari, and Rei, and these angels, and then this secret organization, Sele, and everything. Oh, I guess I should say that Gendo and Shinji and everyone works for NERV, which is like a multinational, multi-governmental group that is stationed in Neo Tokyo to fight the angels. Because apparently that's the only place that angels decide to appear, is in Japan, in Neo Tokyo. I guess when it's an anime, hey, everything does center around here. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of the story, and then when you get to the end, yeah, the ending is really why overall, this series made it into Mindfuck Week and all that. So and then you got the characters. You got Gendo. Doesn't talk too much. Scientific, calculated. Shinji's father just, he feels that everything that he does is the right decision, though, basically. Feels that he's always right and all that. So I guess he's kind of used to being in charge, but yeah. It was definitely interesting getting to know his past a little bit in later episodes and all that. And then you got Rei, who's like she's not a cyborg. She's like an enhanced human clone thing, exactly. Yeah, she's like distant, quiet, emotionless. Is unabashed to be naked around Shinji. Has an infatuation with Gendo and all that, and so yeah. And then Shinji is then a lot like Rei. He's reserved. I mean, he'll speak his mind a little bit, but he's always like, why this, why that, huh, what, who? He's all confused, and yeah, basically watching him be just a total pussy through this entire show, and my just not caring to watch the show to start with when I first watched it and topped on with Shinji. It's like, God, it's depressing. It's like, man, good thing I'm not depressed and everything. It's like, shit, this makes me think of killing myself. It's fucking awful. But, I don't know, that's my skewed thought on that. As you can see, I'm still here. But yeah, Shinji is just, yeah. And then you got Asuka, who's the American and everything. She's like, gung-ho, and yeah, I can do this, and, just sit back and watch me, and, I'll take care of this shit. And then she gets on Shinji all the time for being a pansy and not speaking up and taking action and all this other shit. And all that, and then, like, you get some other Evos and pilots and all that, but yeah. And of course, then the Evos, the big secret with them is that there's like a soul in them, so that's how they're always able to, like, come back to life after they ran out of energy from being disconnected from the power source, and why all this crazy shit happens and all that. Yeah. And that whole fucking, I guess I'm jumping back to the story, but yeah, that whole idea of instrumentality and everything is just like, so confusing, and just a couple episodes of Shinji freaking out and people telling him this and that, and you can save the world or the fate of the world, you can disappear, you cannot, blah, you cannot be made, or you can die. So I had no idea. Let's see. Characters. Oh, okay. Okay. So, anime versus manga. The anime, I think, was fine and everything. I'm not totally sure how well it connects to the manga, considering that Volume 12 of the original manga just got released just got released recently. Um, in volume form. I forget by who. Let me see if I can jump back here. There we go. Yeah, the 12th volume just got released in the US by Viz, I guess. But that's the original manga. There's also other manga. There is another one called Shinji Ikari Raising Project. Which ran 11 volumes and is currently ongoing. And then you also got the Neon Genesis Evangelion Campus Apocalypse manga, which ran for 4 volumes from 07 to 09. And then I think there's another one. I think there was another one that my friend was telling me about. Angelic Days. And I guess, I don't know, my friend was telling me that that one kind of took a strange take on Asuka and Rei's relationship, making them kind of like be in love with each other or something. So, almost sounded like it was a Josei Yuri sort of thing, but I couldn't quite tell. But anyways, onto a little special deal I got here that I also borrowed from my friend, and that is Evangelion 1.11. You cannot advance, or you are not alone. The Blu-ray, and I will explain very quickly that the difference between all these Evangelions of 1.0, 1.01, and 1.11 is the difference in its release. 1.0 was the theater release, 1.01 is the DVD release, and 1.11 is the Blu-ray. And as far as I could tell, the Blu-ray, or Evangelion 1.11, I really love the rehash of the animation that Funimation did and everything. It looks just awesome and everything. I think the Blu-ray looks really good. I haven't watched 2.22 yet. It's about to be released, or by the time I post this video, it will be released on this. But anyways, the upscale is awesome. They redid a bunch of stuff. 1.11, the story covers like the first about 6 episodes with some new material and a lot of the same material. I really like how they're redoing the story so far, so I will keep watching these movies to keep track of it, because hopefully they won't fuck with the ending, which is primarily why I hated the original series and what keeps me from buying it right now. Buy these movies. So other than that, you know, still awesome, fucked up and everything, but other than that, a lot of you have probably already watched it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, and as always, I'm close to time, so peace out. I'm SaudiFan16, this has been Dunce Cap.